Hey everyone, it's Don with Don's Field of Dreams Cards. Hope everyone is doing well. Watched my buddy Chris from Missouri the other day make a video about the Mount Rushmore of Missouri, or players born in Missouri, and it was for Drew over at Vintage Cheap Shots channel. And I watched it, and I called him, and I said, man, the Mount Rushmore in Pennsylvania would kill your Mount Rushmore. And so I decided to make a video myself, because it was kind of fun. I like doing some research, and this taught me a lot. And forgot one particular Hall of Famer was from Pennsylvania. But as he stated with his state, the facts, I'll do Pennsylvania. We have over 1,550 players that played in the major leagues, 21 Hall of Famers. And he challenged me. He said, yeah, you've got better players, but you don't have great names. He mentioned Muddy Rule and Hoot Evers. But I looked it up. We got a few. We've got Cherokee Fisher, Snake Deal, and Moose Solters. All of the photos of cards of them are up here. So I looked at the list and kind of knew the top four that I was going to pick. And I thought, well, I could look at players that my dad actually knew, the Sadowski brothers. You've got Ted, Bob, and Ed. And my dad grew up in the same neighborhood with these guys and knew them all, but they weren't very good. And I thought, well, I could go with guys from my high school. Chris Peters here. He played for the Pirates. And I actually knew his older brother, who was a year younger than me. And it's kind of funny because his older brother didn't play any sports at all that I can remember. And Chris was younger than us, and he made it to the major leagues with the Pirates. Also could have went with Brian Simmons here, another guy that went to my high school. Again, these guys were way after me, so I don't personally know them. And then where I live, my kids went to the same high school as my wife. And there's four players off the top of my head that I can think of that made the major leagues. And one is Ian Happ, who's still currently with the Chicago Cubs, probably the best out of the four, first round pick. The next one, Donnie Kelly, current Pirates manager, played for Mount Lebanon High School where my children and my wife went. And there's this guy, Josh Wilson. I actually saw this guy play in high school, and he was phenomenal. I mean, he would just hit bombs every at bat, strike everyone out. I was like, this guy is amazing. Ended up being a third-round draft pick of the Marlins. I think he played for 9 or 10 teams, kind of a journeyman, backup infielder. It just goes to show how good these guys are. I mean, this kid just stood out above everyone else in high school. It wasn't even close. And, made the major leagues, which is amazing, but just shows the talent of the really good guys versus the guys on the bench that are even good players. And then, so Chris's Kansas City Royals have this kid here. His name's David Shields. And he played some baseball with my son, and he actually classed up and graduated early. And he was 17 when he got drafted by the Royals in the second round. He's now 19, but he's the Royals' 6th best prospect. So all very good players, but not quite there. Speaking of some of the Hall of Famers, let's look at some of these cards of some of the guys that didn't make my list. Nellie Fox. Good player. Mike Mussina. This guy grew up not too far from where John Wade Boggs fan. Same with Nellie Fox, actually. Mike Piazza from Pennsylvania in the Hall of Fame. And so is the guy that drafted him. Manager Tommy Lasorda is also from Pennsylvania, the Hall of Fame managers. Could have went with Richie Dick Allen, Western Pennsylvania here. Glad he finally got in the Hall of Fame. My four are so good that these next two guys didn't make it, which both of these guys are better than, in my opinion. Well, maybe not Yogi Berra. I was going to say better than anyone on Chris's list, but Yogi Berra is pretty good. But the other three, I think, aren't even as good as the guys making my list. And that's Reggie Jackson, Hall of Famer from the Philadelphia area. Didn't make it. This is a guy I forgot was from Pennsylvania, and maybe I never even knew he was. But I should have known. I think he was from the Philadelphia area as well. If I put my readers on, let's see what it says on the back of his card here. Yes, Philadelphia, PA, 1921. And that's Roy Campanella. So when Roy Campanella doesn't make your Mount Rushmore, that means, in my opinion, you get some pretty good players. So coming in at number 4 for my my Mount Rushmore, I almost didn't pick this guy. I almost picked Campanella over him. Not that I think Campanella's better. He wasn't. But this guy was born in Pennsylvania, but he didn't grow up here. But went back and listened, and the stipulation was born in your state. So, and the reason he didn't really grow up here is because his dad moved away. He moved the family to Cincinnati. And here's his dad, born in Donora, Pennsylvania, Ken Griffey. So that is obviously going to give you a clue who my number 4 is. So Ken Griffey Jr. makes my Mount Rushmore. Number 4, born in Donora, Pennsylvania, about 40 minutes from where I live. You're gonna hear of another guy on my list here who's from the same town. So 3 major leaguers from the same town. Number 3, I didn't have a card of this guy. I used to have one. I got rid of it, and that would be Christy Mathewson, the Pennsylvania boy. And I recently got this card from Duke Scott, and this is crazy. I just pulled the card out. I had no idea this was behind it. I've had this for a month. Thanks, Scott. But Matty Lou is neither born in Pennsylvania or America, or on my list. Coming in at number 2, and arguably is really the best player, but I'm very biased towards one player. I'm going to put number 1 out of Carnegie, Pennsylvania, which is literally about 10 minutes from where I live. The great Honus Wagner. Fortunately, I don't have any cards of his. Even the ones that aren't the whales are expensive. But would love to get a Honus Wagner someday. So he's really the number 1 player, but I put him second just because this next gentleman is also from the same town as Griffey and Griffey Jr. And actually, they were born on the same day. I forget how many years apart, but they're both born on November 21st. So 1920 versus, when was Griffey Jr. born? It doesn't say, but I want to say 68 maybe. It's like 40 years. So you all know about my love and fascination with this player. So my number 1 player from the state of Pennsylvania, and also Donora, Pennsylvania, Stan Musial. Just a great Burke Ross card. So, how can you go wrong with these 4 guys on your Mount Rushmore? This would be tough to beat. It crushes Missouri, that's for sure. I don't know, maybe California or New York or some other state, but, those 4 guys are amazing. And, to knock these guys off the list, but these guys right here, just great players. So, just a little fun video. I wanted to do a little research. I liked what I saw with Chris's and thought this would be fun to do. So I hope you enjoyed, maybe learned a little bit, saw some cards you hadn't seen. Probably not. Most of these cards are pretty common. Not common, but they're around. So, as always, guys, thanks for watching my channel, and I'll talk to you soon.